Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Great Ace Attorney! Last time, honestly a lot of legwork, and we learned something about Genshin Asogi. And now who do we see before our eyes? None other than, well, Kazuma, so you know.
No arguments, Prosecutor Asogi! You will continue with the trial, exactly as I instructed. Is that clear?
What? Perfectly.
It's Kazuma-sama.
Defying Lord Strongheart by the sound of it. He never did know when to back down. Whoa, hey. Howdy.
On your way now, Asogi!
My lord. Bye-bye. Oh, hey. What's up? He didn't even say a word? Man. What'd I do?
Yes? What are you doing here?
I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I did. Just talk to me. I was just hoping to ask you a few questions if you wouldn't mind.
I wanted Van Zeek's trial conclude today, but Prosecutor Asogi's unwelcome inquiries are going to make it take longer than necessary.
Unwelcome inquiries? What do you mean?
As a result, I'm losing even more precious time. Currently 2 hours, 55 minutes, and 42, 43, 40...
Okay.
Then we must resolve everything before 3 hours have passed, Mr. Not.
That is not possible. In a miraculous not even 5 minutes? Unlikely. Can't even get to the courtroom in that time. She's messing with me. I can't let the man's obvious bad mood put me off. I need information. Be brave, Naruhodo. And probe. Oh, crap. Be brave. Instantly walks away.
So, about that Reaper fella, what do you think of him? You know, he's such a rascal.
Does Prosecutor Asogi believe that Lord Van Zeeks is the Reaper?
I wouldn't know.
Why do I find that hard to believe?
It was 10 years ago in that fateful closed trial that Lord Van Zeeks made a name for himself among the judiciary. But the next trial he fought, he lost. I meant the ringleader of a criminal organization was acquitted, thanks to all the jurors being under duress.
That's awful. Rinosuke, we already knew this. What?
The man's freedom was short-lived. He lasted just 3 days.
I guess we're recapping if you didn't play the first game, which I find hard to believe.
Let me see. He died in a rock slide. At his place of work, I believe.
Wait, how would an organization orchestrate that?
Correct. Sounded like plankton there. Correct!
Alright, moving.
That was the inauguration of the Reaper of the Bailey.
And people believe Lord Van Zeeks was responsible?
He was brought to trial himself, but it was shown to have been an accident.
So he must have a solid alibi.
Nevertheless, the mysterious deaths continued. In total 16...
Holy dumb! That weigh on anybody's conscience. Oh my...
Yes, they perished. In unusual circumstances. Ostensibly at the hand of the Reaper. So, that's a long run of coincidences.
Well, the Reaper's true identity may well be revealed by this trial.
Sasato, chill! Sasato, what are you doing? You spoil it!
And the impact that revelation would have on the British public cannot be understated.
And that's why it's a closed trial?
Precisely.
Dude, I knew he was gonna say that before he even said it. I've been playing this game too much, bro.
This country hasn't seen a closed trial for 10 years.
So the last one was the professor, right?
Correct! Correct!
Actually, it's been a while since I watched SpongeBob. It's probably a little while. We heard that originally. You were going to prosecute that trial yourself, Lord Strongheart.
Yeah, well, I gotta get that formula.
Alright, Van Zeeks... that was not explained to me.
Van Zeeks entreated me to relinquish the prosecution to him, that he might avenge his brother's death. And here we are, 10 years later. With the son of the man Van Zeeks had condemned, now looking to avenge his father's death in the same way. Oh, what a tragedy it is!
They do the same What goes around comes around. God.
However, it would seem that the new young prosecutor is harboring some ulterior motive.
What now?
I like my organization to run smoothly, in the exact manner that I prescribe. As with the giant clock in here, I won't tolerate a single cog being out of place.
Uh-huh. So that's why there's these gears are about in here. It's for thematics.
If the young man refuses to mesh with the other parts of my great machine, I will be forced to take steps.
That, like, you gotta admit, Strongheart, that sounds like you're gonna kill him.
No, I would never do that, but there will be consequences.
So, like, killing him.
No, he will be eliminated.
That's another word for,
I'm aware I have a thesaurus.
What do you mean?
I think I've said too much. Well, not something which you need to concern yourself with. In any case, all your questions can be answered tomorrow.
Dang, alright then. I never really felt welcome here, but now extra so. You and your stinking giant hair, how do you even spike it up that much in England? Maybe his head's just that big, maybe it is cone-shaped.
Now I shall ask you to excuse me. As of this moment, I've been delayed from attending my next meeting by precisely 3 hours.
Oh my, that is a long time. So sorry.
And I hold you entirely responsible.
Oh. Well,
Even though we miraculously managed to fit everything in the a 5-window minute, I wonder if you might agree to us, talking with Prosecutor Asogi. He's not the professor. I think I need to reiterate that.
Discussions between the defense and the prosecution outside the courtroom are generally frowned upon. However, I will make an exception in this case. Now go. You can find him in his office.
Oh, really? Wow, thank you. That is... I guess why we never talked to Van Zeeks outside the courtroom in the first game. At least they're, like, referencing that.
let's go see him at once, Mr. Naruto.
Okay. Kazuma, my best friend in the world. But now... I'm really not all sure I know what to talk to him about at this moment. So much to say. How do you find the words? At a time like this? Ugh. It's awful. Well, away we go. There was a comment saying...
Johnny, you gotta click on everything in this room right away.
That was a long time ago, sorry to say. Oh. It's got a little playset. Look at him. Wow.
Kazuma-sama is doing so well for himself. He has a whole office to himself.
There's his office. Step right in. And they're always forced to kneel on the floor, Japanese style. God, that would hurt your legs.
It's his habit to sit Saiza style whenever he's working. If your legs are numb, you'll focus on your work.
Oh, the excess amount of chalices. Oh my god. Hi there. Door's unlocked. Oh my god, that theme song gets me every time. I thought it'd be long before you paid me a visit, Ryunosuke. I was right about what I said, wasn't I? Sorry? That you have all the makings of a great defense lawyer. Oh, there's a smile. Okay. We can take our shoes off. We're welcome, alright. Well, I always believed that you'd fulfill your dreams of advocating in British courts, and, well, I messed up a little bit. I just never imagined for a second that it would be as a prosecutor. Funny that.
Seeing you stand in a foreign courtroom, so gallantly realizing your dream. Kazuma-sama.
What if he actually hates being a prosecutor? That would suck, huh?
I'm truly happy for you.
And I'm truly thankful to you, Judicial Assistant Mikotoba. Are we gonna do a group hug, or like, what's going on? Ryunosuke, I always thought it'd be fun for you and I to shake up the British legal system in a little together. This isn't quite how I envisioned it, but I suppose it's just another twist of fate. Yeah, a crazy one. I've learned a lot of things during my time in London. I've learned entirely 2 new accents. 2, count them, 2. About how Sasato's father was himself a visiting student here once, along with Judge Jigoku. And about what happened with your father. Oh, he tensed up. And you'll have no difficulty understanding why I had no choice, why I had to find a way to get to Britain. As a visiting student myself. Right, it's all contextualized now. In case you're not paying attention, yeah, it was a pretty big deal that he succeed here. That is his motivation this whole time. To find out what happened to his father. That is genius writing. Did it take 2 games to discover this? Yes, but finally realizing, God, I want to hear from you, Kazuma.
As you wish, Ryunosuke Naruhodo.
He said my full name. Now, alright, shoes are back on. I'm on his bad side, bro. You never know when you enter someone's house. I'm so, like, you know, shoes on. You can't, he's not in the talking mood. You know, anyway, it's getting on for a year now, since what happened on the SS Burya. We were heading across the ocean, from Japan to Great Britain, when a bizarre series of frankly ridiculous coincidences led to some tragic events. I thought I lost my best friend forever. But you're back! Not to say they needed a villain for this game. Do they really plan it? I'm so curious about that. Because I genuinely believe he died. Then again, rumor has it this is just supposed to be like one super game, which I guess now it sort of is, but you know.
Must have been cautious for a long time. When I awoke, I was lying on a bed. It was a narrow little room. There was a posy of flowers by the pillow.
Oh, they thought you died?
It took me a little while to realize that I was in the cabinet of a ship. I slipped out of the room and headed up to the deck.
Were you already suffering from amnesia at that point?
Yes. I didn't know what had happened or where I was. There was just a voice in my head. You have something you have to do. Something no one else can know about. Go to Great Britain. Your task awaits you there.
Was that Genshin's weapon? Is that what he said to his son?
As I was calling, I couldn't ignore. As it was a calling I couldn't ignore. It compelled me restlessly out of deck. I saw that I was on a huge steamship, and we were docked in a large port.
Shanghai. Or Hong Kong. Whoops. I was close. Am I? Man. It must have been presumably just before they were due to carry your body off the ship.
I had no idea of the situation, but I did have the feeling that I was in some way my last chance, so I concealed myself among the disembarking passengers and went ashore. Then I disappeared in the crowded streets of a foreign port city, so I could plan onward journey to Great Britain.
Dang, how'd you get a plane? No, plane ticket back. How did you get here? I mean, I know Chinese letters, you know, share a little bit with Chinese, so, like, you know, you might be able to, like, get around, so that wasn't a problem. But god dang. Wait, Hong Kong is also... Wait, wasn't Hong Kong at this time under British rule? So yeah, he would have been fine. Dang.
Just under a year ago, with all my past memories lost to me, I was left behind in Hong Kong. Everything was foreign to me. The sights, the sounds, the smells. My head reeled. I was truly at a loss. I realized now that I'd escaped as a dead man, with nothing but the clothes on my back. No money, of course.
Oh, how terrifying for you. I'm so sorry.
Luckily, though, I had 2 feathers in my cap.
Wait, what? Oh, one being your knowledge of English, I suppose.
That's right. And on the back of that, I was able to pick up some work as a deckhand on a cargo ship. Eventually, after calling on countless ports, I finally arrived at Dover. That must have been some 3 months ago now.
Dang, so he's that far behind. Your formidable tenacity of purpose showing itself again. I mean, the man had lost his memory, and he literally had nothing to his name, and he worked it out. He still managed to wake away to London. The opposite side of the world.
Of course, I had no idea why I'd move heaven and earth to get there at that point.
So how'd you end up becoming Lord Van Zeek's apprentice? We already know that. That was discussed.
That can only be called an extraordinary stroke of luck.
Oh, really? There's more to the story.
You see, I was stopped at the border because I had no papers. They took me straight to Scotland Yard. And by sheer coincidence, Lord Stronghall was there to attend a meeting. That's when the second feather in my cap came into play.
Really?
Will that have been your knowledge of the law?
Yes, exactly. Lord Stronghall was curious about an Easterner with intimate knowledge of British law. He took me back with him to the Supreme Court and assigned me the prosecutor's office.
Dang, heck of an interview. Goodness. And then 9 days ago, god dang, You finally got your memory back. Due to Trevor.
Yes, I did.
Well, you know, in a lesser story, I'd say, man, they're just making this up as they go. But the seeds are all there. And at the end of the day, game development is a tricky mistress. You don't know if you're getting that sequel, bro. You know what I mean? It's tough. Real tough. But, yeah, about your dad, we got some news. I don't know if we're going to talk about it now, but ever since I first met you at Yume, you talked about your dream.
Mark my words, Rinosuke. I'll be chosen as a visiting student and make my way to Great Britain to avenge my dad. Huh!
Right. Did you know the entire time about what happened to your father?
16 years ago.
So when he was just 10. Oh my god. Look at him. He's so adorable. I'm gonna be the ultimate British attorney.
My father left on that exciting trip to Great Britain. I was just a boy. We took a photograph together the day before his departure. It's my last memory of him. Oh no. When I remember most about my father, is his unswerving sense of justice. 6 years after he left, a gentleman called at our family home. He told me that Genshin, my father, had been taken ill in England and passed away.
What? They lied?
It was Professor Mikotoba, your father, Susato-san.
What? I mean, I guess you can tell the whole truth. That, he was a killer. I don't know what I was expecting.
Ever since then, the professor was very good to me. He even helped to fund my university education at Yume. I'll forever be in his debt. But nevertheless, I just couldn't bring myself to believe what he told me.
Oh.
The one day, a letter arrived at our home from Britain. There was no indication of the sender, so I opened it assuming it was from an old acquaintance of my father. What I read in that letter changed my entire life.
Oh. What'd it say?
It said my father had been a mass murderer, and the writer cursed the Asogi name.
Oh, so it wasn't his last will and testament?
As a result of that letter, I found out what had been hidden from me all those years.
I guess he just couldn't believe it. So that's his motivation for coming back.
Presumably, the letter was sent from a relative of one of the victims. It was whoever had been a member of the judiciary. He couldn't have been present at the closed trial. The letter revealed that my father had been sentenced to death, executed for being a killer.
I'm sorry I had to find out that way.
I imagine the British government did very best to silence whoever sent that letter. But someone who knew the truth and couldn't bear the resentment was always going to be a problem.
But still, it could have been written by anyone. Why would you believe such a thing?
There was a newspaper cutting, including with the
No, it's undeniable.
It was the first I'd ever heard of the professor and his terrible killing spree.
Well, what did my father have to say about the letter?
I doubt he ever told him.
I couldn't bring myself to show him.
I figured. Well, why not?
Because he deliberately concealed the truth from me by telling me my father was taken by fatal illness. That couldn't have been easy for him. And he'd done it out of consideration for my feelings. So instead, I showed the letter to Judge Jigoku.
Oh my god.
He faltered for the briefest of moments, but then he laughed the letter off. And in that moment I saw his face. He was undeniably shocked, shaken momentarily, before recovering his poise.
That's when you knew.
Dang. A year later, my bereaved mother succumbed to the strain of grief, and she too passed. That's when I made up my mind that one day without fail, I would cross the seas to Britain, and seek the truth for myself. The truth about my father, Genshin Asogi. and I wouldn't let anyone stand in my way.
Kazuma-sama.
Well, how does this tell you about... Maybe this case doesn't necessarily tell him about... No, Van Zieks is related to it. No, is there more that Kazuma hasn't told us? There's no way he could figure that out in that small amount of time. Why is he doing that? Because Lord Strongar ordered him to, bro. Dang.
What we learned today in court turned things completely on their head. It was an impressive piece of lawyering, Ryunosuke.
Aw, shucks. Lord Van Zieks isn't the Reaper, you know. I almost don't want to believe it myself, but turns out Inspector Gregson himself, the victim, was.
It's clear that the inspector was behind the Reaper's activity all along.
Wait, you agree and you knew?
The real question is, who's been giving order to the inspector?
Yeah. He couldn't have acted alone. You think... Wait, what?
Baron Van Zieks is the real Reaper.
You gotta be kidding me.
And I know that 10 years ago, it was him who decided my father must be a mass murderer and sent him to his grave.
No, he was merely seeing that justice was done as the law dictates. He's not to blame.
Ultimately, it's people who condemn people. The law is just a tool that they use to do it.
I don't agree. How do we explain this to him?
And when a man condemns another, he must take responsibility for his actions. Of course he must. But I know for certain that my father would never have taken another man's life.
Kazuma, you gotta... I guess the only way to make him, believe is to take it to court and show irrefutable evidence.
On the contrary, my father's life was taken by the Reaper.
That doesn't add up. Wait, do we have something to say otherwise? I mean, I think we should show him this. Why not? Something's gotta happen. Kazuma, what do you make of this? Very important document.
There's only one place where defense lawyers and prosecutors should discuss evidence, you know. And that is the courtroom.
Alright, that's fair.
It seems you're still confused by that situation.
Oh, jeez.
That's what I make of it.
Okay, wow. Trying to show you your dad's will. Get the feeling my friend's always gonna have the edge over me, isn't he? Guess you want to be a rival if that was okay. Hey, look how adorable we look. It was a shame you weren't there.
My goodness, Sasato does look charming, and Jigoku's beard is magnificent, but Naruhodo, the courtroom.
You're right. Yo, I'm over at your house. Can I play with your toys? Is that chill? Can we play?
What the?
I turned into a different mystery protagonist there for a second.
It's a scale model of the crime scene.
That looks kind of expensive. Wow, the details. I realize that, but does the prosecution office make a model for every single case?
Apparently so.
Must be nice to not have to walk back to the crime scene every time. Sometimes it helps to visualize things better and notice things you wouldn't spot before. Actually, the miniature notice board is my work. Oh, wow, so crafty. You enjoy making that? Alright. I guess he's into minis. Oh, Kazuma, you would have loved Warhammer. Oh, wow. Wow, all that wine. I never noticed it before. Casks floor to ceiling. Just like the last time we were here. Hollowed barrels, I suppose?
No, they're quite full. They're arranged according to vintage, flavor, and region. Every week, they're all taken out and put back in order.
What? Every week? That seems like that needs a lot of man hours.
Lord Van Zieks can't seem to settle on the perfect way of arranging them. Vintage, flavor, and region don't neatly coincide. That's the trouble.
Gosh, being his apprentice must be a real challenge. Heck of a workout.
Actually, no.
What?
He considers the task too important to entrust to anyone else. He does entirely on his own.
Oh. Control freak. So he's a barrel and laugh here and in court then. Great. So we're going to talk about his pets. Oh my god! That actually made me jump. I was not expecting that. Goodness, I'd get a hoot. Had a putt-putt goes to the moon, let me tell you.
You disturbed the bats, did you, Naruto? Fitting companions for Lord Van Zieks, wouldn't you say?
Actually, no, he's a super nice guy, and yeah, he's not a vampire.
I've seen things flying in Lord Strongheart's office, too. Doves, I think.
Perhaps you have to like birds to attain high ranks in judiciary. Although bats aren't birds, of course. Perplexing.
How about a sparrow for you? You know, your mask was kind of beak-like.
What's that supposed to mean?
No, nothing. Sorry, just thinking out loud.
he's like self-reporting that. It's like, oh, he's gonna win. He's so great.
Well, how you doing, Clint?
Oh, whoa.
Do you know the man in the portrait?
Why would I?
Oh, you surely talked about him.
An apprentice I am, but not a friend. During the time I was suffering from amnesia, I didn't even notice that picture.
Really? I mean, it's kind of the centerfold.
Wouldn't have the first idea what the man decorates his office with.
Okay, I guess that was a touchy subject, from the sounds of things. Chess. An ace attorney. What an interesting combo. There's Lord Van Ziek's incredibly stylish desk.
It's not my style, though.
No, I noticed you've been working a little table over in the floor, kneeling down Seiza style. I thought it was some kind of punishment sent by the Lord, but I guess that's what you prefer.
I find it the most comfortable way to work.
I couldn't do it. After a while, a minute of sitting, my legs folded under me. They started to go all tingly.
Don't exaggerate, Ryunosuke. We both know you can't even manage a minute.
This game's so funny, bro. I think it's just, I don't know. Ace Attorney? It's not necessarily dad jokes, but it's good old sensible humor that anybody can get behind. Recently, I've been trying to get someone into video games. And I'm noticing that a lot of games, they, you know, I don't want to make this like a big topic, but they often cater to the male gaze in some ways. And I think that Great Ace Attorney is just one of those, you know, I made the mistake of like introducing them to like Ace Attorney 1. And then April May shows up and she just jiggles all over her breasts boobily around the courtroom. It's not a good look. Not a good look. But this game, I don't know, I think they're kind of classy about it, you know? And all the jokes and everything, it's very tame. I dig that. Lord Van Ziek's fine collection of hallowed chalices, all neatly lined up.
Yes, he's extremely particular about all of it. He has a strict regimen for everything, from the storage of the casks to the bottling of their contents.
Must be having a really tough time being his apprentice, then.
Actually, no. He's so particular about it all, he refuses to let anybody else touch anything. So it's been quite easy for me, in fact.
Talk about weird. Goodness. I wish I could be better organized. You know what? I keep the computer organized. The real world, though? I guess it's not that bad in this room. Minus the plushies in the corner right now. Anyway, my best friend in the whole world. I'm sorry. I must bid you adieu. Because, this place is thick and dust. There's still a chill in here. Okay. Okay, this is one of the rare moments in Ace Attorney history. I was completely stumped. I had to look it up. Sorry. Now it's time to actually look at... Where the heck is it? This autopsy report. Yeah. This is what you have to show him. Even though... When I showed him something for a gag, he said, up, Naruhodo. Let's wait for the trial. This came up in the trial, didn't it? As something a little dubious. I mean, in fact, there was no time of death for the inspector.
Yes, there were some unexpected turns in the courtroom earlier. The suggestion you came up with certainly took everything by surprise. The idea that victim died in the previous day at some other location is quite something.
Well, considering with the pocket watch had stopped at the scorch marks on the candle, it's certainly a distinct possibility. The evidence and the scene both point to it.
To be honest, it bothered me too. So I paid a visit to the autopsy room earlier. The coroner was responsible wasn't there, but I did get a name. It's Dr. Gorey.
If it wouldn't be trouble you, Kazama-sama, we'd very much like to speak with the coroner, too.
Of course. Last thing I want is for anything to be brushed under the carpet. Scotland Yard's autopsy lab is behind Lowgate Cemetery. It's behind the cemetery? Barclay Prison, you mean? We were just there. You know it, do you? The prison where my father was incarcerated and robbed of his life.
So if the... Dude... If they're adjacent to each other, then it's even easier for, you know, Dr. Scythe to make that happen. Kazuma-sama.
Well, thank you. We'll pay a visit to the lab later today. Or how about now? Wait, what's going on? I thought, Ryunosuke. I want to thank you. But me? For this. You safeguarded the soul of the Asogi clan. Ah, well... I mean, how could I not? It's a famous sword that's been in your family for generations. My only slight regret is that I never got the chance to draw it before I returned it to you. Karuma is said to have been forged by a master swordsmith during the Sengoku Warring States period. I come from a long lineage of warriors, many of whom were expert swordsmen. Well, you're a chip off the old block, I'd say. Huh? This blade, Karuma, is the symbol of the Asogi clan's honor and might. Apparently, one of my father's apprentices even took the blade's name for a surname. Wait, really? Karuma. Does sound formidable. But I feel like that's a reference to something. I don't get it. Maybe not. Alright. 16 years ago, when my father was a visiting student here in London, he had this sword forever at his side, which is why it means so much to me that I have it by my side now. Dang. So he's not possessed at all. When you were outside the courtroom, he's the same old guy. And that is all thanks to you. It was an honor, really. Just happy to help a friend. Oh my god, I hope this game has a happy ending. Now I have preparations to make for tomorrow. Perhaps I've said a little too much. Kazuma, you've changed. No, Ryunosuke, I haven't changed at all. It's you who's changed. Menacing music, what does that mean? I can completely understand your resentment of Lord Van Zeeks, given what's happened. But the fact is, those events in this case are... well... unrelated? Is that what you want to say? How can you be so sure? What do you mean? Never mind. That man is the Reaper, and it's for that reason that the inspector was killed. I'm going to prove as much in court tomorrow. By whatever means necessary. I can't let you do that, Kazuma. That's on my role to play, after all. I know you'll do what you have to as a lawyer, but I'm sure I don't need to tell you that I won't be taking any prisoners in court. I'd expect nothing less. Oh my god, this is the best video game. I don't want to say ever, but this specific dynamic is masterful. There's never been... I want to say that. I haven't played all the games. Working on it. But this rivalry... I don't want to say it completely exceeds my favorite one, Ace Attorney 3. But they're evenly matched. As even as you could ever be. Until tomorrow, then. And the Old Bailey. See ya there. God, I got goosebumps. Okay, Forensics Lab. That makes it nice and easy for me. Hello, Maria. Oh my god, that's the cutest crab I've ever seen. This is why I do my dissect. I don't know what voice I'm going to do. I gotta think about it. This place really is creepy, isn't it? And it's just so cute. Look at the witch doctor. Not the witch doctor. The plague doctor. Oh my god. And the ghost.
Well, being a dead room, it's probably full of spirits of the dissected. But actually, there's a rather pleasing scent of rose in the air. Well, being a dead room, the corner probably needs a bold scent like that to mask the odor of death.
Iris? Do you think we could change the subject, please? Oh my god, why am I so jumpy?
What was that?
Are you making dinner? We can come back later. Oh, no, we really can't. Dr. Gorey? Howdy.
What?
That noise before.
I was sharpening my tools. I'd be dead meat if I didn't keep a perfectly keen edge on them. Right. When following the collagen fibers in the dermis, an extremely sharpened scalpel cuts like cheese. Would you like a demonstration? Oh, yes, please. I'd love to see. No! No! Iris! Then I think you'll do nicely.
No, thank you. I would not do nicely at all. I mean, maybe some other time.
Oh, what a shame.
Was that a tut? Is that what that's called? Well, we came to ask questions, and that's what I'm gonna do. Unperturbed. Besides, she's just a little girl. How scary could she be? We actually have met before. I'm a lawyer, if you remember.
You're not dead yet.
Wow, you're a coroner and Captain Obvious. Working 2 jobs.
So Mama said I wasn't to cut you open. She's so strict about things like that.
Well, she taught you well before I put her in jail. Let's not bring that up. Dr. Scythe has some scruples at least. Okay.
Oh dear. It looks like she's not interested in talking to us. For the time being, anyhow.
For the time being? You mean until we die? I hope that doesn't happen anytime soon. Sorry, but I wasn't planning on dying anytime soon, so... There's that way. Surely there's a less dramatic way of making her listen. How are we gonna do... Oh, yeah, we can just show her the autopsy report. Listen, I know you've been recently thrusted in this job, but... Come on, this is just sloppy reporting. That's the main thing we need. Dr. Gorey, we actually came here to discuss this.
He was very good.
Sorry?
His skin didn't snag my blade. And very little mess. His joints dislocated easily. And his muscle tissue was a pleasure to work with.
Wait, so he's actually dead? Oh my god. We don't need the details. We let's just There's one thing about the report that caught my attention. You screwed up the time of death, young lady.
Yeah. That's not my fault.
Oh, that made her jump. Maybe now she's a little more talkative that the mask is gone. Also, sorry, I'm not like shocked. I truth be told, did get spoiled with this character design. Looked like a while ago. In fairness, she's pretty popular. I didn't understand the context though, but yeah, she takes a lot from her mother.
Then please tell us what happened. Please.
Time of death. So, why did this autopsy report include the victim's time of death then? It's really the most crucial detail. Oh, what?
I was told not to write it.
Who told you that?
Male Strongheart. The Lord Chief Justice. He came here.
That's not too surprising. The guy's fishy. Sorry to say.
He said that from the witness statement about the gunshot and the other evidence, it was obvious. The man clearly died at 5 p.m. on November 1st, when the gunshot was heard. But that's not the time of death you wrote on the report. You didn't write anything. Was there some reason you didn't include it?
Miss Gorey, come on. If you're hiding something under Lord Strongheart's instructions, then sooner or later, you're going to go the same way as your mother. Whoa! Whoa, Naruhodo!
Give it here, then.
Okay. What's she scribing?
There.
You've written
What's she written? Tell us.
Indeterminate. Okay. They gasp in unison. According to the coroner, Dr. Gorey, an accurate estimation of time of death is not possible. How? That is so weird. What does that mean? What was the time of death indeterminate?
When the specimen was brought in, it was still fresh, so the time of death could easily have coincided with the gunshot was heard. But there was one small discrepancy.
And that would be?
There was some fried fish in the pocket of the specimen's coat,
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
and that fish had started to rot.
That's ridiculous. So he's been dead for a while? But didn't Gina say... What?
If the victim liked fried fish, he presumably liked to eat it before it went off.
Well, yeah. What are you trying to say here?
It's possible that someone tried to manipulate the apparent time of death.
How so? Is that even possible? What do you...
Theoretically, if you were to chill the body in ice, you could delay the onset putrefaction. And if the overcoat wasn't on the body at the time,
Then only the fish would have started to rot. So they got him naked? And made him a popsicle?
with today's science, it's not yet possible to determine if the body was chilled or not.
But today's science is advanced enough to let you freeze a corpse? How would you even do that? How would you even thaw it? Who are we dealing with here? My God!
But surely, to chill a corpse like that will require an enormous electrical refrigerator, and I don't imagine many households in London are equipped with such a device. No, definitely not. But maybe in a factory? Or some special places?
Special places?
I don't recall seeing any factories or such on Fresno Street. I wonder. The inspector's body had been chilled somehow. What might be the actual time of death have been?
I don't know. I guess Gorey doesn't either.
I couldn't say for sure. But at the most, it might have been a day earlier.
Okay, that matches up what Gina said. But no.
In other words, it would corroborate your previous deduction, Mr. Naruto. That Inspector Gregson was killed a day before his body was discovered, at a different location.
But that is going to be almost impossible to track. I mean, the alternative's just as bad, but did you inform Lord Strongheart of that possibility?
He simply said there was no electronic refrigerators of that size in the vicinity.
I mean, it's November. Could have just put him in the ocean. I mean, you'd have to fish him out somehow, though. Fish him out? Oh, God. Yes. One other thing is, it's something the governor of Barclay Prison told us. He said that your mother, Dr. Scythe, was responsible for confirming the death of the prisoner or the professor after his execution.
The professor.
Apparently, you always enjoyed listening to your mother's stories about her work, so... I was just wondering. We were wondering if you might know something about what happened, 10 years ago. Did she ever talk about it?
That's not Mama. That's not all Mama did.
Wait, what?
My Mama carried out the autopsy of Clint Van Zeeks as well.
Look at her eyes shining. She's so proud. Oh, wow, really? The professor's final victim.
The idea of carrying out an autopsy on a member of the aristocracy was completely unthinkable back then. But the detective in charge of the investigation insisted, and it was miraculously authorized.
Wow, she is talkative.
The detective being Inspector Gregson, of course.
Quite an accomplishment for one man. Wow.
That autopsy provided the vital clue needed to arrest the killer. And Mama was there for the historic event.
What does all this mean? I'm still beyond lost.
That amazing autopsy happened right here in this very room. The professor and Clint Van Zeeks. They both spent their final moments before their burial on that dissection table.
Y'all only get a new table in 10 years? Dang, what's that thing made of?
They don't make them like they used to, I'll tell you.
So this lab, Mama's lab, was instrumental in some of the country's most important events.
She really is proud of her mother. Goodness. That's the major theme of the game. I wonder if you'd tell us more about exactly what happened back then, since you're so fond of it. I'm really just interested in this whole deal. I'm not, probing for information to, I mean, it's not like I can get your mom even further arrested,
The professor's execution was Mama's first big case. She had to be in attendance at Barclay Prison Execution Chamber and sign the certificate to confirm the convict's death. Mama is the best coroner in the world, I was so proud of her.
But the execution didn't actually take place.
No. And worse still, Mama actually helped with the jailbreak.
Oh, so you're just saying it straight up.
I didn't want to know. Oh dear, you found out recently. You mean...
From who?
I believed in her. In Mama. But... now I wonder if I'm starting down the same path as her.
Because of the autopsy? Did she just soft admit she thinks it's Strongheart too? That's because Strongheart forbade you from including it.
Just like Mama. I'm sure she was coerced by somebody too.
Yes, I got that feeling as well. I don't like it.
There's no doubt that there were powerful forces at play 10 years ago. The execution couldn't have been staged without a lot of people at the prison knowing about it. Obviously, the prison governor must have been in on it as well.
Yeah.
That big man with the little handcuffs, according to what he told us. He was tricked by the chief warder. He says he knew nothing about it. Of course he said that. I'd say the same.
Just who was behind that jailbreak then? Because Scythe had to, be ordered to by someone. It's a complicated plan with a lot of moving parts. If Strongheart's not the mastermind, then who? But God, that'd be so boring. Well, let's let him cook. You mentioned the autopsy of Clint Van Zeeks. Could you tell us more about that?
It was at a time when carrying out autopsies on murder victims was very unusual.
So I guess Scythe didn't have a lot of business, huh?
I'm still not a practice that's observed in our country, even now. It turned out that he was the professor's final victim, and when the autopsy was performed, Mama was present, although only as the secondary assistant. The person leading the procedure was called Dr. John H. Wilson? What? That's right, that's my daddy.
Oh no,
And there was one other person present, the primary assistant. He was a visiting student from the Far East.
Is it Jigoku? Or is it Mikotoba? A visiting student? Who could it be?
It must have been my father.
I had no idea he would be involved in this too. How big is this conspiracy?
The outcome of that historic autopsy was the discovery of a vital piece of evidence that led to the capture of the professor.
That's how they came to identify Genshin Hisogi as the mass murderer. Do you happen to know anything about the piece of evidence? What was it?
Would you like to see the records?
Yeah, would that be okay?
What's the point of keeping records if people can't see them? They're filed under V, at the back of the cupboards. The other records of the last decade.
Thank you. Now, Susato, please watch my back. She might come for me. Okay. Let's see. Van Zieks. That's weird.
What? Mr. Naruhodo, what is it?
They're not here. There's nothing under Van Zieks.
There must be.
Perhaps somebody took them away?
No. No one's allowed to take documents related to the professor case out of this room. But you're right. They're gone.
Dang. I thought Gorey was going to be the villain. She's actually fairly cooperative. Like, she's shocked too. Like, what the dump? When was the last time someone asked to look at them? Do you recall?
It was...
What is that face?
Let me see. Yes, I remember now. 2 years ago. A consulting device came one day.
Oh no, a consulting detective came one day, like to see the records. You don't mean...
Herlock Sholmes was his
name? No! Deep down I knew it was him!
Do you think he stole the records? Oh no, surely not. Goodness, we sound similar, don't we? Iris, that can't be right, can it?
Iris, Earth Iris. You good, girl? Oh no. Just more bad news for her.
Bruno. I hope you don't mind, but...
Would you like to go home?
I've just remembered something very important I must do. I'm going to have to leave you now. Oh. This is very sudden, Iris. Well, we'll come with you then. Oh, no, there's no need. You and Bruno can take your time here. Bye for now. Good luck.
What was that about?
Wait a minute, little girl. Oh, no. Little old me, what do you want with little old me? I remember now. You've been here before, haven't you?
Tell the truth, Iris. One's not to fib.
2 years ago, when that detective came, you were with him, weren't you? You were a living specimen then, too.
Wait, what? That's the way it works? Yes, people, you are alive.
Was I? Oh, I don't remember. I mean, I was 8 years old then. Sorry, but a mustache. Goodbye.
Wait, Iris, please!
I'll brew up a pot for you when you get home.
Iris? Hope it's nothing nefarious with her. She's behaving really strangely and I don't like it. Goodness, I'm worried. Also, hi. Sorry about your, goodness. My instinct was say, beautiful mother. What? She was hot, though, you gotta admit. In that case, we won't keep you any longer.
What did you say about Mama?
Sorry.
It's been quite a while since I had any visitors. This was really fun. But next time you come, I'd prefer if you're ready for dissection.
Can't make any promises. Sorry, I'm a busy guy. It's a bit strange that the records for Clint Van Zieks have mysteriously disappeared. But I think we've asked all we can ask now. Toodles, Miss, Gorey. You're refreshingly cooperative. And for this case, I gotta thank you for that. Now, can we talk out your plushies? Let's have a closer look at this collection. Oh, she's safeguarding them? Then again, let's not. At least while she's armed. Goodness. Nothing? Can't click on nothing? Depression. Alright, let's skedaddle. Where could Iris have gone? Oh, we got the dialogue. Fresno Street. Let's see what is updated since we were here last. There's something on the ground. Okay, that is new. That's the only thing that's new. The police are still busily investigating.
But Gina's nowhere to be seen. Where is she?
It's been blissfully quiet, hasn't it? No, Naruto. Perhaps she's out investigating on her own, practicing what her boss taught her.
Well, I expect she'll be back before too long. Shall we wait?
Okay, I can do that. Actually... Oh, they're just gonna, show it to us straight away? There's something different about this room since we were here last.
Can you point it out, viewer?
We could always use time to investigate more.
Well, let's check it out. This little trunk wasn't here before.
Oh, it appears to be made out of metal. It's very heavy. I wonder whom it belongs.
There's some initials on the side. Look. TG. Let's ask one of the policemen if they know who it could come.
Oi, what you think you're doing?
TG? What?
Thanks, that's my trunk. That is. Hands off.
Oh, Tobias Gregson.
Gina, hi.
Where were you hiding?
I dunno. You leave something unattended for a few seconds, and every Tom, Dick, and Harry's got his greedy eyes on it. Gonna dive in my trunk now?
It's not called a chest. Just a wild guess, Gina, but
Spit it, Odo.
is it fair to say you've only owned that trunk since this morning's trial?
No, what? What you trying to say? Come on, this trunk goes with me everywhere. Always has. Oh, where have you been the last year?
Trying to not incur your wrath. That's what I've been up to. Don't know if it's a donation or what, but yeah, that was her trunk. How have you been? What's the goss?
Should hear them talking at the yard now. Should be ashamed of themselves. They're saying that it was the boss who killed all them burglars.
You mean the whole Reaper thing?
Yeah. Apparently, the boss was investigating stuff that no one else at the yard knew nothing about. Stuff to do with all the criminals. What got off scot-free.
The ones prosecuted by Van Zeeks, who used bribery and corruption to evade conviction.
Then obviously it was that bloomin' Reaper giving the orders, wasn't it?
Well, why would people be suspecting Inspector Gregson of being involved in the killings then?
There's a notebook in the office.
Oh no.
It had details about all the crimes that have been pegged as the Reaper's work.
What? Why is that not all that surprising?
Did you see it, Gina? What, did you see the notebook? They wouldn't flamin' let me. 'Cause I'm an apprentice, apparently. Oh, hierarchy. But it was me who found it. And he was me, boss. That's right. You should demand a raise. I was pretty miffed about it, honest. I sneaked a peek at what it said anyway.
Oh, that's our Gina, our trusted ally. Oh goodness, this secret notebook. Let me hear it. You managed to see what's written in Gregson's notebook.
Way I see it. It's my right to read what he wrote. 'Cause we're so tight, you know. And what had he written, Gina? Dates, times, places, names. All long list of them. All details about the bludgeons supposed to have been done in by the Reaper.
Okay.
There could be an explanation for that. Perhaps it was a record of the inspector's investigations into the Reaper's activities. Exactly. That's what I said. That's the first thing you think, right? And as it happens, it was full of names I recognized anyway.
Well, the Reaper's targets were almost exclusively known to London's criminal underworld, so that's not a surprise.
Yeah, but there was one name right at the end. It was a bit odd.
At the end of the list. How so?
Pretty sure the date against it was 31st of October. Oh, the day before the inspector was found dead.
Right. What was the odd name next to it?
It wasn't like a name I'd ever seen before. It was something like, it's no good. I can't remember. I don't think it was an English name.
No.
Oh dear. That's a pity.
Dog, we already know who it is. We've not forgotten about the record. Or the Morse code.
There's something else too. Don't know if it matters, but the same name kept coming up over and over. Shin. It was. I suppose it means anything, but
It sadly does. Asa Shin.
What? You staring daggers at me? Something up?
Lord Van Zieks knew the name too. He mentioned her as well. The woman who actually did the deeds. And now we find out her name was appeared in Gregson's secret notebook. Jeez. Man, really? Gregson working with her? But no, if that was the case, well, we know he couldn't have died from friggin' her this time. We haven't seen you for a while, have we, Gina?
But of course not. I've been busy, haven't I? Investigating and stuff. The lads at the yard are trying to trace the boss's movements the day before it happened.
Day before. But only the day before. It's not gonna help. That'd be the undercover investigation of the Red-Headed League, I assume?
Only the boss didn't go, did he? He found some cove who's pretending to be the boss, ain't you, Odo?
Yep, and that, frankly, was a surprise. It's Mr. Vigil who actually went to the park on Lime Street. In case you forget.
Well, anyway, you ain't the only ones turning stuff up. I got me own ways of getting results.
The dog. Yes, there's a dog!
But me and my partner go together, there's nothing we can't try.
There's nothing you can't track. There's nothing you can't track. But they would have touched this. Alright. Let's give it a shot.
Little Toby. He's such a faithful friend.
I was genuinely wondering if he'd come back in the story. So you've tracked anything down yet?
What you think? Of course we have. Can't you tell, though, police business in it?
Ugh.
Anyway, the point is, you lot ever need any help? You know who to turn to, right? Me and El down there.
Because he looks so hellish. Speaking of hellhounds. Lots of dogs in this game. Anyone else notice that? And birds. And plushies. Gina, about the hellhounds.
Oh, you want me to do the animation again? Here he is. Oh, he's so dumb. Chief Inspector Toby. He's the pride of the force.
Right. We met before.
In Japanese, police dog means something quite different. Not altogether nice to those involved in crime. But here in Britain, it's a wonderful compliment for K9.
Well, it should be. After all, the great exhibition case the other day, as Toby managed to locate Drebber's workshop, and that was a headache. Oh my god, a time bomb.
Maybe it's time for another demonstration of what the super dog can do, huh?
Do we have something the Chief Inspector could catch? The Chief Inspector could catch the scent of. My first instinct is this, but I think that's not right. Toby, would you mind sniffing this? Oh, dang, he snapped into place. He might be a little too keen, don't you think? Oh my god! Whoa, Gina! Whoa, what? What's going on? I guess I was right! Huh? Wait. Look, he's gone to your bag.
Oh my, that trunk clearly still has a very strong scent. Of Inspector Gregson.
In other words, it must have belonged to him. Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, it's his watch.
Oh, alright. It's a fair cop, I suppose.
You nearly got away with it. As if.
You always talk so proudly of Chief Inspector Toby's nose and what it could achieve. Did it not cross your mind he might identify something that was right next to us? Yeah, that was a bit of a bloomer, wasn't it?
That's enough now. That's enough now then, Gina.
Eh?
I think it's time you told us the truth about that trunk.
You got me. Okay. It weren't like that. It just weren't.
Well, what was it like, Gina? What are you talking about?
I know what's going through that head of yours, but that ain't what happened.
All right then, what did happen?
Little less attitude, no, goodness. Well, like I said, we weren't trying to trace the boss's movements. So I let Toby have a whiff of the boss's overcoat. As soon as I'd done that, he went off like a shot. Straight to that sandwich.
The The guy. The witness. Really? What on earth? Him involved in the final trial, again. He had it between the wooden boards. The boss's trunk. What? Hold on, I gotta read that again. What? He had it hidden between them wooden boards of his. The boss's trunk. So he stole the... I mean, he is a beggar. Interesting. Okay. You mean when they heard the sound of a gunshot and all piled in here? Exactly. He nabbed it from the scene. Firework girl wasn't fast enough, I guess. Goodness. Me and the chief inspector gave that sandwich a good grilling. And you know what he said? I thought it might fetch a good price, and the chap wouldn't be needing it anymore, so that's all I did. Nothing. What, you Adam and Eve the cheek of it? Stealing the dead boss's stuff to flog? So Miss Venus wasn't the only one to meddle with the crime scene. So that was really here the whole time. How could they? Well, they want to survive too, but geez. Anyway, that's how it happened. And it's a pretty decent trunk, so I figured it might as well make use of it. There's something wrong with that, eh?
This is more or less Sandwich's exact predicament, though. I mean, he was trying to sell it, you're trying to use it, but I'm just saying, you're not too different. Oh, Naruhodo says the same thing.
Maybe you and Sandwich should find an answer to the same question together. What's that mean? You always talking riddles, Odo. I think perhaps that trunk should be turned over to the police. Don't you? What are you on about? I am the police last time I checked. Gina, if you wouldn't mind, could we maybe examine the trunk? Yeah, alright then. Do what you have with it. Okay, sure thing. Thank you. Let's check it out. Check it out! Oh, before that. What's the matter with Toby? Why is he so aggressively towards me all of a sudden? Mr. Naruto, be careful. It must be the trunk. Ah! Oh my god! No! Toby! Ah! Oi, what you doing? You're gonna lick his face off! Mr. Naruto! Mr. Naruto! Gina, quickly, hail a carriage. What? I actually got knocked out? Are you kidding me? From little old Toby? There's no way. There's no... That was so random. Dang, bro. Oh my god. Mr. Naruto, are you alright? Miss Sasato. Conscious again at last. A blessed relief, my dear fellow. After all, to drop dead after a moderate licking by a small terrier. Most unseeming. Yeah, what's that? Oh my god, there he goes. What is or isn't seemly is irrelevant here, Mr. Sholmes. Dang, Susato's sticking up for me. I like it. Oh, I guess I'm Naruto. I'm so glad there's no lasting damage. How are you feeling? I'm fine, thank you. Did you bring me back here? What's this on my head? A bandage? Whoa! Sadly, we had no ice. So that's a compress of sugar water. Wait, what? How'd that work? I don't know. Don't worry. It's a first aid treatment that my father taught me. Oh, so it's legit? Alright, well, now I believe you. Those Sholmes, I'll be second guessing. So let us take tea where you're feeling up to it. And of course, no sugar in the patient's cup. Yeah, I don't want to OD, but my head is throbbing sweetly enough. It was a joke. All right, I get it. Whenever you feel ready, then. Okay. I gotta check something out. Dang, I got this same setup in my house, bro. I wonder what he uses it for. Whenever you serve tea, always takes us back to Japan. I know you're not particularly fond of the bitter taste, are you? So I did always try to pick up less bitter matcha for you. She does often serve up an unusual mellow blend, it's true. The anticipation of the taste in my mouth makes me bitterly worried anyway. When I first was like drinking matcha, I didn't know how to like stir it properly with that brush. So I would basically just ingest like a whole thing of matcha and be like, ugh, that is bitter. Goes down and that's not how you're supposed to drink it. So maybe Sasato's just bad at mixing it. I don't know.
It is very difficult for you, isn't it?
Goodness. Anyway, what's up, dog? What you sitting over there for? Thank you for your concern, Mr. Storms.
My dear fellow, think nothing of it. I must say I was quite startled when I heard you've been attacked by a dog. For a moment I feared the infamous murderer may have come back from the dead.
You mean the professor? Yeah, it is kind of ironic.
Fortunately, I see your prized throat is unscathed. That stiff turned-up collar of yours obviously afforded some welcome protection.
Was I that close to death? Jeez. All I remember is the dog licking my face over and over again.
Well, if you wish to avoid such troubles in the future, a little mustard spread on the cheeks should do the trick. I should think that would balance the sweetness of your bandage rather splendidly.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. Anyway, Sasato, what is going on in the meantime? Where's the, investigation? What are we gonna do?
Are you right, Mr. Naruto? It's rather unusual to find ourselves in the middle of the investigation.
Yeah, it just occurred to me that I've forgotten something when we left this morning. Wait, what's that?
Don't worry. As long as you investigate thoroughly, you won't be going...
Wait, what? You won't go far wrong? Of course. I must get back to work as soon as possible. So let's skedaddle. Where to? Sasato's hint, I think, is taking us downstairs. Yeah, where's Iris when you think about it? The disappearance of Iris... What is happening? What? What did you... I'm so confused. What is going on in here? Am I dreaming?
No. It's an old German folk song. Rather a fine rendition, I think. My goodness, it's bringing Iris to tears. Look at her. She loves it so much.
That's the least of my concerns, Sholmes. She's visibly distraught. Iris? No! What is going on with Iris? What's the matter? Oh, she's just... I thought she was like about to cry. You know what I mean? Like, it's a different... Oh, the teapot.
Who is that Oh, that's my father. Oh my god.
Iris is just beside herself. Iris? She's not listening.
Excuse me, sir. I do apologize for the trouble whilst you singing so merrily, but would you be kind enough to explain the situation?
Well, that worked? Naruto's so sarcastic.
A crooning gentleman and a mute young girl. A rather tantalizing juxtaposition. And one that appears to have enticed the gods of deduction within me to the...
Now? We're doing this now?
Sholmes, you don't mean... You couldn't possibly...
The strains of reasoning within me are playing now as a delightful duet. One melody sings of reunion full of nostalgia.
Oh.
Whilst the other is a morose theme about the great secret you're trying so desperately to conceal, Iris.
She's turned white as a sheet. What is going on here?
So as usual, you've instantly seen the very heart of the matter.
And by the time my own brief performance is over, I feel sure this gentleman's song will reach its finale.
So then,
to music land, where all sweetness and delicacy and harmony. Pray, do enjoy Herlock Sholmes' latest logic and reasoning spectacular!
His wardrobe changed real quick. All right. Oh, it actually changed. Or did it? I don't... Oh, yep, there he goes.
Well. Firstly, we consider the gentleman's nationality. Clearly he's a German with no grasp of the English language. And evidence by the Germanic song he sings, and a parent's inability to understand when asked to desist. So why is the man here at all? And in such apparently high spirits? Who could say? The answer, of course, is Iris. It's clearly known to her, and only her. Indeed, we need only follow the gaze of those bright young eyes to unravel the particular part of this mystery. She's just not... What happened? The reason for this man's mildly irritating warbling is revealed by the herbal tea.
Excuse me? How could tea do what?
You obviously offered our German guest a tea of your latest herbal blend, and the tea's delectable flavor has made the man's spirit soar. And resulting in this joyful ditty, tumbling incessantly from his lips, I eagerly await sampling the flavor myself, that I might join the fellow in a state of elation. Now to the next question. Who exactly is this gentleman availing himself so thoroughly on the cité?
One could only You saw him earlier today!
As it happens, a number of years ago now, a certain gentleman of German origin engaged my service solving a particularly delicate case. He required the retrieval of letters once sent to an acquaintance that might have proved problematic. In order to conceal his noble identity, he also arrived at my office in a mask.
What?
The gentleman's name was Wilhelm Gostrich Sigismund von Umstein.
What was it now?
The King of Germany. In my memory serves, the mask worn by the gentleman is identical.
You're so dumb.
There may be no question the mask belonged to the King of Germany. It would appear that His Majesty remembers the fine service I afforded him, and he has decided to show his face again. Well, mask and all, in order to express his gratitude.
What's the point of a mask if he's got... You know who he is.
A well-mannered monarch indeed. Wouldn't you agree, my dear fellow?
Iris is like,
I'm so fed up with him, but I can't tell him why.
The identity of this masked visitor is in fact my former client, the King of Germany. Indeed, his son is currently in London as well, enjoying the wonders of the great exhibit.
It's just that... Wait, oh my god, this one's... That was the end of his first deduction? I guess this is the grand finale. Girl, okay, yeah, on to Iris. What's got her so upset?
Which leave us with one remaining imponderable. Yes, you, young Iris. What is your deal? Your apparently inexplicable silence isn't able to hide the truth.
What?
Yes, the reason for your muteness is concealed inside the...
Wait. Iris, are you trying to eat evidence? Is that what's happening right now?
A £5 note, I believe. I must say, as your compatriot, I'm deeply saddened you would not give me rent money. It would appear that you've allowed yourself to be bribed into silence by His Royal Highness, eating yourself some spending money.
No, earning yourself some spending money. Big difference.
In exchange for keeping quiet about the king's secret. And now the final piece of the puzzle. What is this secret you strove to hide with your silence, Iris? Ah, yes, we need only follow that brief involuntary twitch of your eyes to find the answer.
Wait, what is that?
You were attempting to abscond with that coffee cup. My favorite coffee cup, in fact. Or should I say, the handle of my favorite coffee cup.
Can't stop saying coffee cup.
It appears that His high-spirited highness broke into the midst of his hijinks?
So hard to say.
Which leads us to the sad truth.
My favorite coffee cup has been broken by the King of Germany, and Iris is trying to conceal it from me.
I shall have a bill sent via governmental channels to the royal family of Germany for its replacement.
Today is truly a good day to die. No, don't bring that back. I knew they'd reuse that pose. It was only a matter of time.
Thus concludes Sherlock Holmes' great deduction of this painful puzzle. So sad.
Goodness. Iris, did you knock out Sasato's dad? With your silence as well, the fellow's jovial warbling rather rings in the ears, doesn't it?
Mr. Sholmes, I must say something does rather trouble me.
Pray, Miss Sasato, do tell.
His Royal Highness, doesn't appear to have moved a muscle since we arrived.
Well, it's a very long trip from Germany, Miss Sasato. You must understand, you must be tired.
And you haven't said a word either, Iris. Stop with them big ol' eyes, I'm gonna cry! If Mr. Sholmes has this all right, you might as well own up to it.
Your reasoning isn't entirely without substance, I must admit.
And one other thing, Sholmes.
Yet another grievance, Mr. Naruto, surely not save me the boredom.
I actually read the story of that case recently, the one you were describing just now. And according to that at least, it wasn't the King of Germany, it was the King of Bohemia.
There's a difference? What?
I thought they were the same thing.
What? Actually going to tell me Deutschland is some place other than Germany. That's ridiculous. Goodness, was it? Have I been wrong?
Yes, that's quite true. Master Gotz, the prince, testified to that in court. In his words, I have come to see the great exhibit all the way from my home in Bohemia. Do you recall he was the young boy with the balloons?
I would ask you to keep that minor error to yourselves. It could easily become quite a scandal.
I believe, Mr. Naruhodo, that it's our turn to make some corrections to a number of minor errors.
Yes, if Mr. Sholmes wanted to admit that he might slightly wider the mark this time. Though it's clear that Iris is definitely hiding something too. We need to find the truth behind this mysterious scene.
But one truth is incontrovertible. My favorite cup is no more. So, shall we embark? On a point presentation of Herlock Sholmes' Logic and Reasoning Spectacular.
Well, yeah, let's get to it. Although I gotta say, I think I figured this one out pretty well, given Iris's past odd behavior. She was trying to eat why would she eat evidence, though? There's an open fire. You know? Maybe I don't got it.
So we consider the gentleman's nationality. Clearly German. Okay.
The song coming out of it. Alright. So we gotta, get rid of that. Right? The answer is Iris clearly known. She's looking. Where's she looking? We follow the gaze. Sure. And the herbal tea. It is weird it has a teacup. So what? It's some mix of herbs that give you the urge to sing?
Goodness, I should like to try.
And I'd like to hear you singing, but this man, just how long does he intend to keep up with that tune?
He's been stock still the entire time.
His lips aren't moving. How does Sasato not recognize her own dad?
So I'm not sure what exactly was responsible for the spirited singing, but I suspect the answer lies at the end of Iris's gaze. So let us observe.
It is obviously the gramophone. Oh my god.
Wait! This! A gramophone. You don't think? The sound certainly appears to be coming from the horn.
But machine singing? That can't be right! How long have you been living here, Naruhodo? Science and technology are changing the world rapidly.
What's right is changing too.
It's too much for my brain to handle.
At least we found our answer.
Okay, so we figured that out. What's the actual source of the singing? It's that. Duh. Okay. It's been a while since we've done one of these. Well, now. The reason for the man's mildly irritating warbling is revealed by the gramophone.
Indeed. For no well-bred gentleman would break into an obscure folk song when making a social call. It's not proper, let alone a king of Germany. Deutschland. In other words, the gentleman isn't singing at all. In fact, it would appear that the fellow is unconscious.
Okay, got that part right. Yeah, just, that's enough of that. Music seems to have stopped. Thank goodness. Hail to the king.
I should ask you, Mr. Naruhodo.
Yeah?
Why would I have purchased a recording of that gibberish?
I don't know what you do with your money. Apparently not pay rent.
Regardless, never mind that. On with the deduction. Who exactly is the gentleman sitting on the settee?
It is,
no doubt, that man is the king of Germany.
All right, this one's pretty straightforward.
We've already established that it was actually the king of Bohemia. I thought it was the king of Deutschland. Oh, goodness. It seems Mr. Sholmes intends to persist with this Germany theory for some reason.
Come to think of it, the young prince was wearing a mask too, wasn't he?
Master Gotz. Oh, the boy who had you in tears.
I don't remember it like that.
Do you suppose all members of the aristocracy of mainland Europe wear masks?
I'm sure they do. Well, probably. Whatever, not the point. The mask doesn't belong to any king.
That's right, as we well know, because we can identify the true owner.
Really gonna make me do this? What the dump? So, boy, you ain't paying attention if that's the case. Golly.
Yes, there can be no question. That mask belongs to Kazuma Asogi. In other words, my memory is sublimely unreliable.
Wow, you admit it? Well, you could try to make that sound only you could make that sound positive.
Kazuma's mask has been languishing on the metal chest for several days, though that doesn't explain why the gentleman is wearing it now. But it was now a simple matter to determine our guest's true identity. After all, the gentleman is unconscious. There's no such thing as mask poisoning. We need only excuse ourselves in advance. Gently lift the mask and peer beneath it.
Oh, they did it like that. Fair enough.
Goodness. I've never seen this king, Naruhodo.
That's not a king. It's her. It's.
Oh my God! Father! Father!
Yes, I'm afraid, Miss Asato, you must...
No, I think not, Mr. Sholmes.
Then it would appear our logic and reasoning has once again revealed the truth. This mysterious visitor...
Wait, she's in here now? No way!
Is my unconscious father, Yujin Mikotoba.
Logic and reasoning are just looking and saying, okay, using our eyes. Wardrobe change, Mr. Naruhodo! It's Yujin Mikotoba. Case solved. Now into the remainder. Really, what could she be chewing on? I don't get it.
Which leaves us with one remaining imponderable. Young Iris. But your apparently inexplicable silence has enabled to hide the truth.
Yes, the reason for your muteness is concealed in the knapsack. Okay. That's a 5-pound note poking out. Okay, so it's not evidence.
Oh dear. I can't be sure. Most money that we encountered is in coin form.
I know. I'm not even sure if we've seen any banknotes here in Britain.
But anyway, Father would never pay money for Iris's silence.
He certainly seems like the silent type himself, though, judging from the present state. Must be some other reason Iris is being quiet.
Perhaps Iris is trying not to give away her eyes?
Something entirely different. All right, let's just check it out. She's sad. Giga sad. Can we actually investigate? Now I think of it, Iris always wears that little bag of hers, doesn't she?
That's right.
Oh, sorry, skip it. Though it's easy to forget about it because you can't see it from the front. Right, it's a 2D game. Sometimes. Are there? I had no idea. I don't remember ever seeing them before. I think it's just self-referential. Huh. Is it possible there's always a 5-pound bill poking out of her bag and I just never noticed?
Doubtful. I couldn't say with absolute certainty, but it's unlikely.
Okay. Wait, what? Okay. What is Iris looking at? Well, it's on the floor, but I can't look at it. I mean, can't select that. Well, given the only other thing I can click on here is this, I guess I'm picking it. Yeehaw. Weird. Oh, yes. The reason for your muteness is concealed inside the metal chest.
An excellent observation, for upon closer inspection, there is something different about the chest's appearance.
Oh, it's open. I didn't even know that. I couldn't even tell that.
It's kept locked all the way. The catch is open now. Evidently, this has something to do with your refusal to speak, Iris. But it's simple enough matter to incite you to speak, I'm sure. I merely need to open this chest and here we go.
I'm opening the chest, Iris. You simply can't stop me any moment.
No! Hurley, don't!
Ah! Oh my god! Oh my god! Ah! Oh! Mr. Sholmes! He's dead! Oh, so that is an awkward position to be.
Never. Oh, Hurley, I told you not to open it.
Well, this will go a lot faster now. So you've found your voice now, Iris, have it?
In other words, what just happened clearly reveals the truth here.
Yes, the real reason for your silence until now is...
This is somewhat different to the usual dance of deduction. Dancing by oneself must be tricky, isn't it?
Well, he's left the ballroom, so I'm gonna have to dance this part solo. Anyway, I need to get to the bottom of this for my own peace of mind. Now then, Iris isn't usually the silent type.
You mean you don't actually know the answer? Despite pointing your finger before.
I mean, it helps me think. Miss Sato, sometimes a man needs to point his finger and just think later.
Oh, if you say so.
Rolls eyes.
I think we better examine Iris's eyes more closely.
Okay. What's going on? The real reason for your silence. What's going on with that, little lady? She got a key to the chest. Why? Goodness. The real reason for your silence is that key behind your back. Mr. Sholmes was throwing it in the air before. Just before you called out to try to stop him, you slipped something out of your mouth. You were trying to eat the key? That something is the key in your hands. The key to the chest. So what the crud is in? It's gotta be the report.
You're so clever, Runo.
Oh, come on. It's now become clear. Thanks to Mr. Sholmes' graphic demonstration, we can well imagine what happened here.
But...
Professor Mikotoba also opened that metal chest, only to be punched into the air. And land sprawled on the settee? I want to actually pronounce this correctly. That's the best I got.
But wait, that doesn't explain all the facts. About the stylish scarf, and the cup of tea. And above all, why would he be wearing a mask?
I think that is also Iris's doing. And for those curious details, I can only think of one explanation. Clearly, an unbelievable miracle took place in this room. Oh, now Noroto's just turning into Sholmes. Isn't that right, Iris? Consider how the room was arranged before. Oh my god. He went to open it and it all like fell onto him. Goodness. When Mikotoba opened the chest, completely unaware of what awaited him inside, the mask was also flung into the air, only to land neatly on his face. And the teacup joined through the air, ended up through his finger. What a ridiculous video game.
And of the scarf?
That's actually a tablecloth. The great detective's office, after all, a place of miraculous deductions. Well, there you have it. Truly the greatest deduction yet. Would you expect anything less?
No. Nothing gets past you, Runo. You're right. It happened exactly as you said. Brilliant, Runo. I concede.
Thus concludes Ryunosuke Naruhodo's greatest deduction of this punchy puzzle. Bravo. Actually, the best one yet. I'm gonna be honest though, the angle on that first one was bullcrap. Is either the thing in her bag or the floor is.
So then, why don't I make a fresh pot of tea for us all?
Huh? What?
An admirable performance, Mr. Naruhodo. But in the final act of the show there, you rather missed everything of importance.
Oh, he's right. What's in the chest? Let's not evade that.
If you would cast your mind back to my earlier deduction, Iris, clearly you're hiding a great secret.
No, I'm not. I'll just get a pot of tea and flush this down the toilet.
From the look of her face, I guess she is. Mr. Sholmes must be right. For once. Whatever that great secret is, the cat isn't out of the bag yet.
So, I put it to you again. You were attempting to abscond with the coffee cup.
Wait, the cup?
It really is a shame that Mr. Sholmes' cup
Must have been smashed when Mikotoba opened the chest.
Oh dear, so many things seem to have been broken here.
Now that deduction's taken a different direction, ours doesn't seem to be trying to hide the broken cup anymore. In other words, her great secret is something else. Let's put our observation skills... Okay, come on. You got to be kidding me. Wait, what? Oh my goodness!
Take that!
You are a... What a genius girl she is. Thank goodness she's on our side. Well, not currently. You were attempting to scum at the case file, Iris!
Iris, as you know very well, nothing escapes the attention of a great detective.
Oh, bother. He got me.
We visited Scotland Yard's autopsy lab earlier, and Dr. Gorey informed us that the autopsy report of Clint Van Zeeks had gone missing.
Clint Van Zeeks, yes, I do recall. That's some years ago. I asked to see the report in question. You were there with me, Iris, weren't you?
Why would she do this? Is that how would she know that has something to do with her dad? You mean it was you, Iris? So those papers, you took them?
I'm sorry.
Oh no!
Forgive me!
What can I say to that? I can't believe it, Iris. What's going on? For her to commit a crime? I don't want her to go to jail. What the dump? I mean, you know.
In truth, I would like to have thought I could have predicted the booby-trapped chest. But it caught me completely off guard. I was very nearly the late consulting detective Sherlock Holmes.
I'm sorry, Holy.
So you mean this autopsy report really is?
Yes, I took it from the lab, even though I know it was very important.
Why would you do such a thing?
Was there something in that troubled you, Iris? Not exactly something that troubled me. Something I'd been looking for. When I saw this report, when I saw the writing in it, I knew it was Daddy's. She just wanted to see something from a memento from her dad. This game is pure evil. Your father's writing. What do you mean?
Iris? Must be something that's hard for her to talk about. Wait, what?
Forgive me for interrupting, my dear fellows.
Sholmes, what? It's playing dramatic music.
I feel as though the poor unconscious gentleman on this settee has been somewhat forgotten.
Father, wake up! Father, don't die!
Perhaps we should find our guest somewhere more peaceful to rest.
I don't know, he looks pretty comfy, bro, I'll be honest. I mean, a roughly 120-pound, gentleman did just, smack on top of him, though, but I don't know. Yes, Sholmes,
Would you be so kind as to lend him your bed? Must do our very best to make him comfortable.
Oh, yeah, of course. I'll carry him up.
So will I.
No, I can manage alone, thank you. You have tea to enjoy.
Wouldn't want Iris... You wouldn't want to... Iris's brew to stew? Yeah, true. Alright. Dang, show him stronger then, dude. Because there's no better way to make the professor comfortable than dragging him upstairs like a trunk. Up, there we go. Up, watch ahead. Up. Dragging him by the feet.
My goodness, Sholmes is strong.
Yeah, I wonder. Perhaps that was deliberate. Maybe Mr. Sholmes is making himself scarce to give Iris a chance to talk more freely. Okay. I get it.
We must use this opportunity and find out what's going on.
What's going on? Sorry, I had to do a crazy fog thing. This is too sad. My effing God. If Iris Wilson can't smile at the credits of this game, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'll rip 2 pieces of printer paper in a fit of rage. And that is wasteful, and I know, but it's the only way to express my rage. Grrr. Would you like to tell us about it, Iris? About your father?
I'm sure I told you before, didn't I? That Daddy used to be Hurley's partner. Yes. And that notes about all the cases that were solved together and kept inside that metal chest. That's right. Hurley told me, you see. He said that Daddy's somewhere far away now. So we can't meet.
That's one way of describing it, I guess.
Then, when I secretly unlocked the chest and read through the papers, I started to build a picture in my head of what Daddy must be like.
Well, that's only natural. I mean,
you're just like any other girl your age. It's totally natural. I read that Daddy was a professional in medical science, so I studied and took my degree too.
Wait, well, that's only natural for girls her age to get a degree.
In that respect, you're not quite like other girls, actually, Iris. But there was one thing I could never find out. Daddy's name.
Wait, what? So it's not Dr. H. Wilson?
His name wasn't anywhere on the notes that I made about his work with Hurley. But then one day...
Oh. That's how she found out. When you saw the autopsy report, you finally managed to work it out. That's how you discovered the name. So it was the handwriting in the report that caught her eye, and then she put 2 and 2 together. He really is dead! You're joking. Why was that line that Mikotoba said? That just gave us false hope.
When I saw the writing on the report, I could hardly believe it. I know that handwriting, I thought to myself.
Because it was the same as the writing you'd see in your father's case notes.
Exactly. I was desperate to compare the 2 properly. I needed to see them side by side. I asked the doctor in the laboratory, but I was told I couldn't take the report. And even worse, I was told that was the first and last time we'd be allowed to even look at it.
So you decided to steal it. Iris, you boy. Oh my God. Get it together.
Oh, God, take it. When I compared the autopsy report with the case notes I had, there was no doubt. The handwriting was a perfect match. It was Daddy's. And the signature of the coroner at the bottom of the report read Dr. John H. Wilson. So that's how I finally found out. I learned Daddy's real name at last.
I see.
Ever since then, I've called myself Iris Wilson. And that's also when I had the brilliant idea of writing stories all about Daddy's exciting times with Hurley. I decided there and then that I'd write the adventures of Sherlock Holmes.
Dr. John H. Wilson.
I had no idea the stories had such a deep personal significance, Iris.
I can see why the autopsy report was so important to her. And why she was prepared to break the law to get it. It's all that mattered to her. I'm on the brink, y'all. I'm hanging on the edge of tears. Holy I must apologize, Iris.
This really is all my fault.
Hurley?
I made a promise, you see, that until the time was right, I'd keep the details about your father a secret.
I know. I've been very naughty. I'm sorry. I'll take the autopsy report back to Dr. Gorey and apologize. I promise.
Yes, we'll go together, I think.
Good. Thank goodness. I mean, Miss Gorey, she seems like the forgiving type, you know?
Then let me go look after it until we get there.
Clint's autopsy report, finally. Can we see it? Can we have a look?
I must go and water my herbs, I think. I'll see you all later.
Bye-bye. She's gonna water them herbs with her tears, bro. I can't. She must be feeling awful. I know Mr. Sholmes is here for her, but still. Wait, what? Sasato. Ah! What's wrong? What's going on?
What's the meaning of this, Mr. Sholmes?
What are you talking about? What's the autopsy report say?
Oh, dear me. So, you've noticed it, I see.
But that would mean...
What on earth's the matter? Sasato, you're white as a sheet.
It's this autopsy report, Mr. Naruto. The writing isn't Dr. Wilson's at all.
What? How could you... Excuse me? How would you know that?
Because I know this writing very well. This writing is my father's.
What? Mikoto! What does that mean?
Indeed, it's true. And now you know, my dear fellows.
No. I don't know anything. No, spell it out for me, really. What does this all mean? Because the idea that's slowly forming in my mind is just too extraordinary to believe. Please, you have to explain. Genuinely. If Iris is... What? Who? Wait, your partner was... Professor Mikotoba? Is that... Then what? Then Dr. Johnny Wilson. That's a... Also... Was that a name he just gave? Thinking about it, most of what we've known about you, Mr. Sholmes, comes from the published stories.
Yes, The Adventures of Herlock Sholmes, written by Iris.
Who really are you, bro? And we really have no way of knowing what's fact and what's fiction about you.
Most troubling for you, my dear fellows. I'm sure.
So, what about this supposed partner of yours? Did he really exist?
You've come straight to the point, I see.
And please come straight to the answer.
I believe Iris explained it in one of her installments. He was a treasured comrade and the only person I could truly ever call a friend.
And he's just upstairs.
And did this partner of yours truly make a record of all your cases? Are his notes really stored inside that metal chest?
Absolutely, my dear madam. Absolutely.
So, where's your partner now? If not upstairs.
Oh, we rarely meet. You see, he lives on the other side of the world.
Then who is Iris's dad? Who is Iris's dad? Excuse me? But if this autopsy report and the records of all your old cases were penned by the same hand, if the autopsy report is written by your famous partner, that would make the logical conclusion.
Pray, impress me. Who is it? Really?
It's Yujin Mikotoba. In other words, Sasato's father.
Small world, huh? Upon my word, Mr. Naruto.
Yes?
You are coming along wonderfully. You've hit upon the method at last. You finally grasped the art of deduction.
It's finally, are you kidding me? You mean to say?
Allow me to introduce you. To my great friend and partner, Mikotoba.
Well, how about that? But what is that? What does that mean? Does that mean Susato and Iris are related and they can be sisters and they can have a happy family reunion? I don't know. I don't want to think about that because that means Mikotoba's, you know, he met somebody while I was here in England. Whatever. Let's just talk about this again because I went out of order because I'm crazy. This autopsy report is actually penned by Mikotoba. But that makes no sense. It's not possible. Surely.
Not possible, my dear fellows. Pray take a breath and think again.
Yes, you're right. In some ways, it actually makes a great deal of sense.
It does?
10 years ago is when Father returned to Japan after his extended tour in Britain.
And prior to his return, where was Dr. Mikotoba engaged?
Of course, he was assistant at Dr. Wilson's lab, forensic science.
As an assistant, he would have aided with the dissection work, making detailed notes, which would be assembled in full autopsy report. Once the work was complete, the headquarter would check the contents and put his signature on the document.
In other words, the only writing of Dr. H. Wilson is the report would be his signature at the end.
Whoa, that's a brain blast. So Mikotoba does all the writing, and Dr. John H. Wilson just finishes it off. So Iris got the wrong end of the stick. She saw that and assumed the whole report had been Wilson.
And, oh my god. Which is very understandable, of course.
Why don't you say anything? Oh, I guess he has a reason. That complicates the matter, doesn't it? Okay. But what did Clint's, like, autopsy report say? Like, I should check it now. So Sholmes and Mikotoba, the dynamic duo.
Does that mean you're the real Dr. Wilson?
No, my dear. I'm still my old self, Eugen, your father.
Oh, of course. Dr. John H. Wilson died, right.
It's obviously too much for the poor girl. Oh, goodness.
I must say, though, how my old friend has attained worldwide celebrity as a great mystery solver and the greatest mystery of all. I still remember the time we first met. Pray remind me, when was it going? What was it again, Mikotoba? 16 years ago, Sholmes. Yes, 16 years. 16 years. Just arrived from Japan with Shishiro and Genshin. I was in search of lodgings close to the hospital. Some comfortable rooms at a reasonable price. Rents are devilishly high in this particular area. That's right. So I decided I need someone to share lodgings and the expenses. I was fortunate enough to be introduced to Mr. Sholmes, who found himself in a similar situation.
The greatest dilemma known to man.
I was a callow fellow back then and a mere shadow of the great detective you see before you now. I was working in the hospital's chemical laboratory at the time, indulging my curiosities for little gain. The situation of our cohabitation led to us pursuing cases together, you see. Hard to believe, it was mere 6 years. We had a great many adventures. But in the last year of Mikotoba's stay in Britain, the most famous case presented itself.
The Professor.
Case in which you became familiar with yourselves, the Professor killings. After the trial, Shishiro and I were summoned back home.
Hardly surprising given the circumstance.
So, there you have it. And as you know, all the details recorded by my trusty chronicler remain in that metal chest.
This is just amazing. Genuinely didn't see this coming. Like, it makes sense, but golly, it is random. Professor Mikotoba really is Mr. Sholmes' famous partner. So now what? God, Susato must be over the moon. That's like her favorite thing. This whole time she's been reading about her dad's exploits.
Father, why did you not tell me this?
Goodness, my dear. What a cutting look.
As your daughter, I'm very proud to learn that you were the great detective's great partner. But nevertheless, there's another mystery that I really must ask you to explain.
About Iris. Yeah.
And, that is?
You know very well what it is.
The unresolved matter of Iris's father. Yeah.
Should have seen this coming, I suppose.
Well, out with it, boys. Iris is hopefully out of earshot.
Iris told us that all the notes about the great detective's adventures that are in the metal chest were written by her father. Isn't that correct, Mr. Sholmes?
That is indeed what I told young Iris.
But it's not the truth.
If you're Mr. Sholmes' partner, father, and you wrote all the case notes, then Iris' father must be you.
I mean, she looks nothing like me. That pink hair, I mean... Upon my word, Mrs. Sato, you are coming along wonderfully as well.
What? What?
You two have hit upon the method at last. You finally grasped the art of deduction.
You two-timing... Okay, maybe... I don't... What? You two-timing little... You two-timing...
What you've always told me, father, is that mother died when I was born 16 years ago. And you left me in grandmother's care whilst you embarked to study abroad. And I've always accepted that. But to leave Iris, well, even if you did move on from mother, you could have told me all this about Iris.
There it is, Sasato's glare. Oh,
now hold on a minute. It was very complicated. I mean, it's really not what you think.
then perhaps you'd like to explain what it is, Father. Now the eyes go from ice cold to red hot before she...
No, really, you've got it all wrong. The idea is to stick. Sholmes, say something.
Flips him back on the couch. He gets knocked down the same pose again.
That's quite enough, my fiery fellows.
Sholmes? When did he get all dressed up? He didn't change his outfit. Man, should I change the outfits back? I probably should.
Whilst I don't like to interrupt this exciting exploration of the past, Megatoba and I have an urgent matter that requires a short excursion.
But it's very late, Sholmes. Where must you go? Away from my throw.
My dear madam, is it not obvious? My partner and I must pursue our natural enemies. So, get your coat, Megatoba. The game is afoot! Sholmes, I really must give Sasato a full explanation, I think. No. Later, my dear fellow. Our carriage awaits. Downstairs already. Well, you haven't changed one iota, have you? I mean, really. I visit my home 10 years later. When I open the chest in a fit of nostalgia, I quite excitably pass out, inexplicably. And as if that wasn't enough, when I eventually regain consciousness, I plunge straight into all this.
Yeah.
Father, please. Go, Mr. Sholmes.
What?
I've no doubt that whatever happened, you were acting in everyone's best interests. I trust you.
Completely. Oh my god, Susato.
Well.
And sending the great detective and his great partner off on renewed adventures together is more than I could have hoped for in my wildest dreams.
Well, he looks upset. No, more like determined.
Very well then. We'll speak again later.
My, it's gonna be cold out, Megatoba. You really should get dressed properly. I believe your own work is done for the day.
So, I wish the best of luck of you tomorrow. Yes, Naruto. Good luck in the battle. And in reaching a decision.
A decision? Huh? Oh, right. Japan or not. Crud. Well, that is quite...
So much happened that day.
Yeah,
that
you
I
tell
barely
me.
knew what to do with myself. It would only be later that I'd come to realize how amidst the chaos I'd unleashed were all the clues I needed to finally unearth the truth. And that all the turmoil was necessary to give me the resolve to see everything through.